Hello everyone, welcome back to another interesting tutorial. My name is Vance. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to make this very beautiful asymmetric waistcoat. So if you're interested in learning how to go about it, let's get right into the tutorial. So we'll be starting with the pattern drafting. First of all, you bring in your fresh pattern paper, you fold it into two, and then you rule out the starting line. After which, you go ahead to take your vertical measurement, which consists of your bust point. So my bust point in this case is 10.5. My waistline, my under bust is 13.5, my waistline is 17, and then the full length I'll be making use of 22 inches. So you can actually make do of what you have. So when I was done with this, I'll just go ahead and connect this point that I made into a straight line, just the way you're seeing me do. After which, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to take my button allowance. There's a button in front, so for my button allowance I'll be making use of 1 inch. So I'm going to mark this 1 inch across my vertical measurement, and when I was done marking, I'll use my ruler to connect these points that I made into a straight line, just as shown. After this, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to take my shoulder measurement, which is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and then I'll get my armhole by dividing my bust by 6 plus 1.5. I'll mark it there, and I will connect this point into a straight line, just the way you see me do. Next thing I'm going to do is to replace my shoulder measurement on this line, and then I'm going to connect it to the 1 inch shoulder slope I came down by, just like this. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to label chest line, my bust point, my under bust, my waistline, which is WL, and then the full length of our top, which is FL. When I'm done with this, I'll proceed to getting my neck width. So for the neck width of this waistcoat, I'm going to be using 3 by 3 inches standard. And then when I was done marking my 3 by 3, I'll go ahead and connect my shoulder slope, and then I'll also connect my 3 by 3, just the way you see me doing. So after this, guys, I'll just go ahead and get my armhole with my French curve. The next thing you will do is to divide your bust. So whatever your bust is, divided by 4, and then you go ahead and mark. So we are taking the body measurement now. So divide your bust by 4, mark, divide your waist by 4, mark whatever you have, and then your upper waist, that's the full length. The full length is your upper waist. Whatever you have, also divide it by 4 and mark. When I was done with this, I'll connect all of these points together, just as shown. So when I'm done with this, next thing I will do is to take my nipple to nipple. My nipple to nipple is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. I'll mark it across my bust point, my under bust, my waistline, and then the full length. After doing that, I'll connect this point into a straight line. Now to get my waist dart, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch on both sides, just as shown, and then I'm going to connect from the waist to the full length, and then I'll do the same thing for that side, then from the bust point to the waistline to get my waist dart. After which, guys, I'll go ahead and determine my armhole princess dart. So from my shoulder slope, I'll come down by 4.5 inches. Initially I wanted to use 5 inches, but I decided to use 4.5 inches. Then I'll go ahead and connect this 4.5 inches mark to my bust point, just like this. And then to get my dart between this area, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and then I'll also connect to the bust point to get my princess curve. And then around this area, I'm going to blend it out so that I will not have any sharp edge around my bust point area, just the way you see me doing. So this is basically it for now. So next thing I'm going to do now is to replicate the same thing that I did for this side to the other paper. Now if you want to add your bust dart, you can actually go ahead and add, but I'm not working with a bust dart, so I left it. So I'm going to turn over my paper like this so that I can go ahead and repeat what I did in the other side to this other side. Remember, we are working on an asymmetric waistcoat, so you have to replicate what you did on this part on the other part to this part. So I can actually see the line, so that's why I'm just using my ruler to connect all the points that I made and all the markings to this point. So this was it, guys. When I was done, I'll go ahead now and bring a fresh paper for the back. So for the back now, I'm going to remember it's an asymmetric, so your paper has to be on fold. If you're working on a fabric, your fabric also has to be on fold. So when I was done, I ruled out my starting line, and the next thing was to take my vertical measurement, which comprises of my waistline, which is 17 inches as I did for the front, and then the full length 22 inches. So when I'm done with this, guys, I'll just go ahead and connect this point that I made into a straight line, just the way you see me doing. After this, guys, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to take my shoulder measurement, which is 15 divided by 2, 7.5. I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'll get my armhole line, which is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. I'll mark it there, and I'll connect this point into a straight line, just as shown. So after which, guys, I'm going to go ahead and replace my shoulder measurement on this line, and then I'll connect it to my 1 inch shoulder slope, just as shown. So the next thing I will do is to connect my armhole like this. Then I'll go ahead and label chest line, waistline, and then the full length of our top. After which, guys, I'll go ahead and take my neck width. I'll be using 3 by 1 inch. So my neck width is 3 inches. My neck depth is 1 inch. I'll connect my shoulder slope like this, and then I will connect the 3 inches to my 1 inch neck depth, just as shown. After which, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to take my body measurement. So you're going to go ahead and take your body measurement, your bust divided by 4, your waist divided by 4, you mark, and then your upper hip or your lower hip divided by 4. Then you connect the points that you made. After connecting, the next thing you will have to do is to take your nipple to nipple. My nipple to nipple is 7 divided by 2, 3.5. I'll mark it across the waistline, and then I also mark it on the chest line. Then I'll connect these 3 points together to get a straight line. After which, I'll go ahead and take my waist dart. So I'll be using 1/2 inch on both sides for my waist dart, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect it just the way you see me doing. After this, guys, the next thing I'm going to do now is to replicate the same thing at this other side. So this was me when I turned the paper over to mark the same thing I did for the other side to this side. Remember, it's an asymmetric waistcoat, so you have to do this. It's very compulsory. So at a point, I wasn't able to see my lines again. That's why I had to use my tracing wheel to trace the marks, and then I went ahead to use my ruler to connect them, just the way you see me doing. So this was when I was done connecting it. I'm going to turn it over. Then I'll go ahead and cut out the pattern. I'm not going to cut everything though. I'm just going to cut some parts and leave some parts so that we can draft the asymmetric area. But when I'm done cutting, I will just go ahead and set the back aside. The back will be the last thing I'm going to cut. Hope you understand what I'm saying. So this was it, guys, when I was done cutting the back. So I forgot something. From the full length, come up by 1/2 inch or 1 inch as you desire, so that the hem of your blouse will not look straight. So I came up by 1/2 inch. So I then went ahead to cut the 1/2 inch that I came up by, and I'm going to set the back aside and bring in the front. So for the front, I'm going to go ahead to do the same thing for my full length. I'll come up by 1/2 inch from my full length, just as shown, and then I'll connect it using my French curve, just like this. So the next thing I'll do right now is to go ahead and cut out the down part first. So after cutting the down part, I'll just go ahead and open up the pattern so that we can start altering our pattern. So from this part now, I came out by 1/2 inch and I reconnected it to my armhole. So you should do the same thing so that your fabric will not get short at any point around the armhole. Hope you get. So I went ahead to open up my pattern, and I'll just go ahead and label this area like to indicate that this is where the button is going to sit. From my armhole, I'm going to come up by 1 inch because I don't want my armhole or my bust to be exposed. From this side too, I will do the same thing. I came up by 1 inch and I'm going to extend the point just the way you see me doing. I'll also go ahead and extend this point to my chest line. Then to get the asymmetric, first of all, I was trying to use my ruler to see if I could achieve it, but I realized that my ruler could not give me the curve that I needed. Then I just used my free hand to first of all give me the visual representation of what I want to achieve, and then I went ahead to use my ruler to connect it when I actually got what I wanted. So this was me when I used my ruler to recurve, and I actually used my hand here again, my free hand rather, to connect just the way you see me doing. So on my shoulder slope, I'm going to come out by 2 inches, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect from this end. Just watch what I'm doing closely. It's a very easy tutorial. There is no complications here. So when I was done and I liked what I actually created, I went ahead to use my marker pen to highlight. So I was just highlighting so you could be more visible. So for you, if you're making yours, you can actually go ahead and do whatever you want. If you don't want 2 inches, you can actually increase it. So that's basically it. Just do what works for you, but this is how you should go about it. So I went ahead to start cutting out my patterns, and I absolutely love how it looks. It's already giving us the style. So there's something I forgot to do at the down part. I'm supposed to come in from the full length of our blouse and then give it that V-cut. I didn't give it that V-cut. Please, you have to give yours the V-cut. I don't know if you get. At the down part of the blouse, there's something like a V around the button area. There's where the button stopped, and then there's this V around the full length of the button area. Hope you get. I forgot to give it that V. Please just give it that V though. It doesn't mean anything, but if you're working for maybe a client chose that style, you have to give your client what your client wants. But because it's a tutorial, I had to do it like this. It's not like I intentionally didn't give it the V at the bottom part. It skipped my mind. So I'm sorry about that. So I'm just still cutting. So this was it when I was cutting, guys. Are you seeing how beautiful our pattern is? The top is already coming to life. Are you seeing? So this is it, guys. So the next thing I'll do now is to indicate, still add more indications that this is the button area, and then when I'm done, I'll just go ahead and bring the back block so that I'll also draft the asymmetric area for the back. So this is the back block. Now I'm going to be turning it around, and then I'll bring in my front block. Are you seeing? So I'll just arrange the front block very well so that I will not have to make mistake. When you're dealing with an asymmetric dresses, you have to be very careful, not only in the pattern drafting but also in the cutting. Sometimes you will cut one thing and then it turns out to be another thing. I don't know if anyone has experienced it before, because I have experienced it. So you have to be very careful when working with an asymmetric dresses. So I'll just go ahead and trace. So you can actually go straight like this if you want for the back, and then you cut out this part. It's fine. But me, I want to actually give it something stylish. So from this end now, that's from my neck width, I'm just going to connect like this. Just watch what I'm doing. So from the armhole, make sure you come up by 1 inch for the back. I forgot to do that in the pattern. Make sure you come up by 1 inch for the back, just the way we did for the front. You know, from the armhole for the front, we came up by by 1 inch, so that our bust and our arm hole will not be very revealed. So do the same thing for your back. So this was it when I was done with how I wanted my back to be. You know that your back and the front has to be the same. Are you seeing how I had to join it so that it will be the same at that point? So that's how yours should be too. So this is how I want the back design to be. I'll go ahead and cut out this area that I'm marking right now. So I'll set the front block aside and I'll go ahead and cut my back block. So if you don't want to cut the dart, you can actually close your dart, but I would advise that you cut the dart, please. So this was it when I was done cutting the back. I see how beautiful this back design is. Now go ahead and label center back, side back, and side back. So 2 side back and 1 center back. So this is it, guys, for the back. Then I'll go ahead now and bring in the front block. So that's basically it, guys. So we have almost come to the end of our tutorial. If you've not liked my video, if you've not subscribed, please do well to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment in the comment section if you have any question regarding this tutorial that you want to ask me, and I'll be right there to reply you. So basically this is how it's going to look. So in our next tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to sew it step by step. So watch out for our next tutorial. Bye, guys.